Alright, so what I have today is something I've been waiting for a year for. So I'm actually pretty excited to get my hands on this. I've been putting it off just so I can record, and we all know how terrible I am about actually making videos. So, this is the Modiphius Fallout Wasteland Warfare game. I wasn't able to get everything they sell. I would love to, it'd be awesome, but unfortunately I am not that rich. So Modiphius, if you're listening, buy me everything, and I'll paint it all for you. So, I got the core box of the game. I got a Super Mutant Behemoth. I got the Nuka-Cola Girl, which comes as like a pre-order bonus because I pre-ordered this back in December. And then I have the Robots collection, obviously because, you know, me and robots is a big thing. So I'm going to go through all of it. I know there's a ton of videos already out there on this, so I'm actually going to do that last. Sorry. So, move everything over. Let's start with the Nuka-Cola Girl. So I pre-opened these to make it a little bit easier, but I wanted you to at least see how they came. It's just like a hard plastic, kind of like, you know, most electronics come. Comes with cards that are related to the Nuka-Cola Girl for the game. I'm actually not terribly interested in the game portion of it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not a big board game player. I'm actually really big into models and miniatures and, you know, all that crap. So I was mostly interested in the miniatures. So the Nuka-Cola Girl. Oh, that's gonna... Hopefully my camera can handle that. That is very small. No blame for that. So, this base has like a lot of rubble. There's some rocks, a stop sign, and then a peg for her to post on, and she's all one piece, no assembly. I will say that I did mess around with one of these as a test, and you do have to glue them together, which is fine. I mean, that's not a big deal. It's pretty common in miniatures. But they don't just snap together. So if you're unfamiliar with gluing, then you're going to have some problems. But the detail on her looks really good. She has her backpack and everything. I was really surprised. I heard a couple people get bad quality ones, but I'm really happy with all the resin stuff I've seen. So, she's really good. The Super Mutant Behemoth. There's no way I couldn't not get this. He's pretty awesome. So, if I can... I was a little surprised by the price point on him. So he comes with a special scenario in the game, specifically for him, because I'm sure he's a beast to drop. Again, he comes with his own pack of cards. The reason why I think he costs so much, number one, this is full resin. Like, it's not hollow inside, so I'm sure that it's not easy. So, hopefully you can see this is a shopping cart that goes on his back. Another base with a steel beam structure on it to give it some extra detail. His hand is separated with a fire hydrant, which is a pretty common weapon for the behemoths, as I'm sure you guys all know. And then the man himself, who is actually all one piece, except for the backpack, of course, and the fire hydrant, which honestly I'm pretty excited for. Some notable things I wanted to point out. He does not have pegs on his feet, so the way he gets glued down, I'll have to actually make pegs because he's heavy. I don't think he'll stay up on glue alone. So I'll have to drill little holes for pegs. I found that kind of a shame because he's got pegs on his wrist, right there, and he's got pegs on the shopping cart, but he does not on his feet. So, yeah. I mean, I guess he'd stay, but I don't know. I feel like I'd break it doing that. One cool thing I did already notice is he has these chains that go around his back. Man, my cameras are like way too bright. Yeah, let me try dimming that. Maybe it'll make it easier to see the colors. So, he has two chains that go way on his back, and it actually lines up perfectly, absolutely perfectly, with the shopping cart if you put the handlebar side up. So handlebar side up, there's actually a hinge on the shopping cart that lines up perfectly with the chains. So it really makes it look like it all fits together a little more. The only problem I see is right here. There's a bit of a gap, but it's not terrible, not at all. His wrist, again, he has a cloth wrap around it. So when you put his wrist on, it'll blend in pretty well. Maybe just a little bit of putty when you attach it, and it should be good to go. He is fairly tall, especially compared to everything else. So I think he'll be one of my more time-consuming paint jobs. Definitely want to do well on him because everyone's going to get drawn to him first just due to his size. But I'm really excited about that one. Also, I will note, there's almost no cleaning up on these at all. So that's a really good thing. Find somewhere to put it. Alright, the robots. So, there's also Creature one that I really, really wanted, and the Super Mutant Suiciders. They also look really cool. the cars and the clutter, the Nuka-Cola machines, all that stuff looks awesome. I just can't have it all. So every single type of robot comes with its own set of cards. So I thought that was kind of neat. That way, if you didn't get the whole box and you just got like just the Sentry Bot or just the Protectrons or just the Assaultrons, you still have the cards for that specific one, and you can't order them separately. I got them all because the robots in Fallout are some of my favorite designs. There's a guy on Instagram who designs them, and he actually built a 4-foot tall Sentry Bot, and it looks amazing. I want to say his name is V Visions, but without the I. But he is phenomenally awesome. So, on these guys, first off, 2 Protectrons, 1 iBot, and 1 Mr. Handy, 3 Assaultrons, and 1 Sentry Bot. So, let's start with the Sentry Bot. Sorry, I'm trying to be delicate because I don't want to damage them. The bags are pretty tight fit, though. So, he comes with 2 Gatling guns. I'm not sure where that goes. Maybe on his back. The 2 tanks. Because, like I said, I haven't actually assembled them. Oh, I think it goes on his lower back. I think it clicks on his lower back. And the, Anyway. And his head. His head's right there, too. See, the problem with the minis is I have to break out my actual camera for all this. And we all know that I don't edit my videos because I'm lazy. So, you got a curb, the road, and a grate for a sewer. So it gives you a lot of options on painting it to give it a little more color and technicality. So here's the back of his legs. I think they did a really stand-up job. His back, his front. I mean, I'm really impressed with the quality. And I think once I start assembling and putting it together, it'll look really sharp. To be honest, and I'm not trying to trash talk Modiphius because I've never built their stuff before, I was expecting less. A lot of times when you see the preview images, they come out not the same. But they really went above and beyond on this resin quality. Also, I know the majority of Modiphius's Infinity line is metal pewter. So it's pretty cool that they were able to break the grounds here into resin. I'm not sure if some of their other side projects are resin or not. So, Steel-clad Manhunt, which I assume is just like you versus all the robots. Funny, they have a Sentry Bot there. You can buy this, or a turret. You can buy the turrets. It's a whole separate line, though. Does not come with this. So, again, just couldn't afford the turrets. It's like another 30 bucks. I will say the price point was a little more than I would have liked on some of them. Like that Behemoth was like $55. It seems a bit much, but there is a ton of detail on there, so I can't complain too much. So the Assaultrons come with a hand with a sword and a hand with, I guess, another sword. Oh, and then this one comes with 2 arms with the claws. So it looks like you can make 2 melee Protectrons and 1 of the laser eyebot ones. So you could do some pretty cool lining here to make it look like the laser is about to fire on its eye. You do get 3 of these, so no complaints there. I think all the robots were like 60 though, which is, to me is crazy because that's a lot of little minis. So I'm not sure how they worked out the math. So the Mr. Handy and an iBot. The iBot comes with, because obviously if you know anything about Fallout, the iBot floats and spreads propaganda. So the iBot, I'll probably have to straighten these out, but any time you deal with miniatures and you have like long spindly parts, they're pretty much guaranteed to be slightly bent. All you do is soak them in warm water, bend them the way you like them, then put them in cool water. It's not too terribly crazy. But because it floats, it comes with this little clear piece, which you can see pretty well due to the awesome glare my screen's giving me today. Let's see what we got here. Got some wooden panels like from a fence and a steel beam poking out of the base. Actually, the bases are different for the Mr. Handy. Mr. Handy's base looks like a wrecked Mr. Handy laying down beneath him. Not really sure what's going on there, and some rocks. You know, I only got 1 peg, but I feel like I need 2. Because Mr. Handy's peg is right here, and it's not clear. That kind of sucks. Oh, I see. So there's little lines you're supposed to paint it like fire. I honestly would have preferred the clear part. inside of that fire, but I'm not going to complain too much. A little bit of resin, like dust, whatever you want to call it, the little stringy stuff. Pretty good detail on the arms, the buzzsaw. Buzzsaw's not sharp though, it's very wide, but that's okay. I'd rather it be detailed and not fragile, so I won't fuss about that. And again, I ordered these a year ago, so I've been pretty, I've been waiting. The core box, I think I got the plastic one, but I don't know. They look really good, and the other plastic ones I've seen are bad, and the resin ones I've seen are awesome. So the Protectrons, you get 2 of them. They just have their standard arms. I was going to do one of the normal, like, what do you want to call it, like sea green-ish kind of color. I was going to do the other one as one of the other Protectrons, like a construction one or the fire department or police one. They have a couple different ones. This is probably the most boring base. There's almost no three-dimensional texture. It's just brick with like a railroader signal because of the Underground Railroad in Fallout 4. And they are identical. So, oh wait, their bases are different. Maybe they're not identical. Their positioning is almost identical. It looks like this one's in mid-step though, because his foot is much higher than the other one. But his is very similar to the other robots, where it's like a curb and then just kind of a hole on the road. But I like that. I mean, they're not flat bases. You know, Games Workshop stuff always has just flat, plain bases, and it's up to you to make them a little more poppy. So I think that's a really cool touch. And I think once you paint them, it'll give them all a little more character and diversity. All right. Now for the big boy. And this thing is heavy. So I believe the core box was $90. Don't quote me on that. Again, this is all a year ago. So you get the, what is that, the T60 power armor, super mutant dog, the female, what is it, Nate and Nora. So female Nora, superhuman mutant with the sledgehammer, the dog. And I actually don't, the red rock in the background is cool because it's just Fallout. But that is a separate purchase. I'm not a big fan of when box art shows something that doesn't come in the box. So that kind of irks me a little, but I'm not going to throw a fit about it. I know it's one of the most iconic things about Fallout, so they were just doing what they thought was best. The Rules of Play is a rather large book. I'm not going to flip through the whole thing. I don't know if they'll like copyright slam me on that or something. But the artwork inside and the already painted miniatures are really cool. And they also show you how they would recommend painting the miniatures, which I think is awesome, incredibly supportive. The only thing odd about it is none of these come in this game. So, I mean, I don't even think this Super Mutant does. I don't think this fully armored one does. He might. I know Preston Garvey doesn't. I know the power armor with the laser Gatling gun, which looks awesome, comes in like a $50 package. And that kind of sucks because he's the only power armor you get out of the $50 package. You get a bunch of grunt soldiers. So that kind of sucks. But hey, not complaining. It's probably their way of showing advertisements. Of course, this game comes with thousands of like tokens and bars and is way more complicated than it really needs to be. So here's some settlers, or Minutemen probably, judging by their uniform. So I'm going through this quick because, you know, it's a rule book. These are really well painted though, so kudos to whoever painted those. I really like the grime they did on the power armor. Oh, sweet. So it does come with Mama Murphy, you know, one of the most important side characters. Deathclaw coming around the Red Rocket Station. So cool enough. Like in here, there's a car. I don't believe this is the car that you can actually get, but you can buy cars. They're gonna have 3 total. This is all Wave 1. They've already announced Wave 2 and 3. And I want to say I know one of those 2 has cars. I don't know if it's 2 or 3. I will say 3 has a ton of really cool models in it. They're going to include the Institute, Raiders, more Super Mutants, like heavily armored ones. Like the, what were they called? Like Sergeants or something. It's going to include Mole Rats. Yeah, I know they didn't have Mole Rats. What's up with that, right? I don't know. There's a ton of them, and I'm really excited about them. And I've already tried to, like, figure out how I'm going to pay for it all. Because there's so many cool ones. So here's your wall of tokens. I'm not going to go over them. Just all of these are little tokens that pop out. I don't know what they do. I haven't read the rule book. Don't sue me. So, one of them fell out, of course. Wasteland Warfare, getting acclimated. Initial know-how of Wasteland survival. So I guess this is like a super condensed version of the war game. Which is cool. I think that's really important. A lot of these games, there's another one of these games that I don't have, but I've played. And the minis in it are really nice. There's 5 of them. But it's so complicated. It's really, man, it'll push your challenge. Way too much stuff to remember while you're playing. So the campaign book. I think this book is purely for different quests, events, and things like that to sort of give you different ways to play. So you play with friends, you can play by yourself. Apparently you can build settlements in this too. Man, they're really going all out. It's cool that they make it as in-depth as the actual Fallout game, but it also kind of sucks because imagine trying to get your friends over and be like, hey, we'll play this game real quick, and then you just start throwing down 3 different books. Like, it's excessive. And you're going to turn away a lot of people. But, again, I got it for the minis, which we're getting to. They're right there, see? So there's 2 of these. I can't even show you them because they take up way more screen than I have. I'm trying to see how big they are, give you a rough idea. Looks like they're 1 foot by 3 foot, maybe? Yeah, maybe even bigger, like 18 by, I don't know, 42 inches. Anyway, they're just mats to play on, and they give you texture. This one's pretty much the same thing, but it has a road in it. I've already opened it, so I can tell you it has a road in it. That's the only difference. The chute. It's a special scenario. I'm not sure why. It might be due to the extra character. There's a bonus character in here. I'm not certain. A ton of baggies. After you get all those tokens out, you know you got to put them all in separate baggies. So here's 1,000 baggies. Cards, including the alien. So this is a bonus card. The rest of them are probably just the normal cards. The alien is a bonus in the box. And the way they worked this out was, if you bought it online, you got the Nuka-Cola Girl separate, the alien in the box. The next wave, if you buy it, you get the Nuka-Cola Girl in here and the alien in the box. That way, whether you buy it at a store or online, you still get the bonus. Like the, what do you want to call it? You get both bonus things. Anyway, here's a mountain of cards. So, I guess we'll start here. I'm going to actually slide this over, so hopefully my screen can focus on the right thing. Deathclaw. So all these are fully assembled already. I think that's because they're the plastic ones. I'm not sure. If they are the resin ones, feel free to correct me in the comments. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Honestly, I don't remember which one I got. So, he's got some rocks and a tire to help build for scale. His talons are actually really sharp, which is nice, because a lot of times you lose a lot of... on plastic, you lose the sharpness, and everything's more rounded. There are some seam lines on them. They're not terrible. They could be easily cleaned up with some sandpaper. And I've seen other ones where they looked horrendous, and I'm wondering if maybe I didn't get the same version. But they're pretty nice. I like them a lot. His face, I don't even think I can get you to see his face, but we're going to try. You can do a camera. No, you can't. His face doesn't have a ton of detail. It's kind of a bummer. It's sort of blended in due to the lack of sharpness. Dude, how awesome would it be if I had a camera that actually could look at small stuff? Hey, if you guys got a recommendation for a camera that can look at small stuff, holler at your boy. So here's the alien. Like, you can see my hand so clear, and then he's fuzzy. I can't win. A little alien man with the blaster. Man, I really wish this was better quality. It sucks. 1,000 die. So its super mutants are green. Settlers are gray. So they're pretty good. Their rifle and stuff's fairly straight, not really bent. Super mutant with some heavy armor. So I guess he does come in the game. There's a correction there. You don't have to correct me in the comments like you guys always like to do. There's 2 different dogs. They are slightly different in position. They're pretty cool. I like them. Again, their bases have texture on them. Give them that unique quality. Get in there. Alright. So, Super Mutant with the sledgehammer. His hammer is a little bent. It's a little droopy. So, we'll have to straighten that bad boy out. It's not a big deal. He's got a ton of armor. There's a lot of Super Mutant sets, which actually kind of caught me off guard because there's already so many in the base game. So I wasn't sure about that. And they look pretty similar. Here's a commander with 2 rifles. You know, look at me, Mom. I got 2 rifles. Dog meat. So dog meat looks really sharp from the side. I like him, but he is way too skinny to be a dog. I don't know if you can tell exactly, but he is like... Yeah, I know it's a Wasteland, but he's way too skinny on the back end. I mean, I've seen German Shepherds before, and he's tiny. But he looks good other than that, so as long as you take like pictures at angles and stuff, you know, nobody knows. Of course, all the companions are separate add-ons that you have to purchase, so, you know, screw you if you want that. So here's a settler in his little hoodie with his pipe rifle, and in his other hand he has a stim pack. It's a stim pack. He looks good. Another one. He has a pretty gnarly seam line going down his whole side that'll have to be sanded off. I'm sure you'll never be able to tell because my camera is currently becoming a potato. Maybe I'll just take pictures of them individually and put it in the video. Here's another dude with the hoodie. I don't know why they like hoods so much. Oh wait, is that hair? I guess that's hair. It's a girl with a hair and trench coat with another rifle. So the one thing that bugs me about this is this whole set, everybody has pipe weapons except for these 2, which kind of sucks because it really kills the variety that the game could have. So here's Nora with a pistol and a hunting rifle on her back. The barrel's a little droopy, but it's not too bad at all. Again, something pretty much standard when you have long, skinny pieces. This is the one that really hurt my soul, alright? So, there's a lot of detail on it. This is the power armor, assuming it's Nate inside, who knows. I don't know if it says. With a laser rifle. So, I love the laser rifle. I find it to be one of the most iconic parts of Fallout. It just... Laser rifle looks cool, man. That's all I can say. But, I will say, this laser rifle is not as cool looking. There's not hollow on the inside, so you have to, like, carve that out for that pipe, because there's, like, an under piping. Can you get there? It did it. Okay, you should be able to tell. See the underpiping? It's not hollow, and it looks really bad. It bugs me. Also, his laser rifle, we're going to try this. We can do this, boys. Is really skinny. I feel like it should be thicker. Why does my camera hate me? Oh, cool. I just completely changed colors. Okay, it's going to hate me. It's really skinny. It's, there you go. You can kind of see the idea on how skinny it is. Kind of bugs me. It's a shame. I will say the other game definitely had a better power armor in it, but in Release 3, Wave 3, they have a full set of power armors with the power armor racking, and it has a Gatling gun, and it looks really sharp, so I'm hoping that one's going to be a little better. So that is everything. Sorry, the camera quality wasn't the absolute best, but that is Fallout Wasteland in a nutshell. I'm pretty excited to start assembling these guys. I'm probably going to do the resin stuff first because I want to play the game and I don't want people to mess up the stuff and I don't want it like half painted and looking terrible for friends. But I am definitely planning on getting more of these at some point in time. I'd like to get them all eventually if I ever have enough money. Because I want to do a whole shelf of them and assemble them all, paint them, and then put them all on a shelf. So I just have this really cool Fallout shelf. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry I've been gone for forever. I just don't really know what to record. So it's kind of weird. I've been considering doing live streams and just, you know, talking and hanging out and stuff. But I don't really know how many people are actually interested in that or not. And I don't want to just bore people and hog up the internet. So, Fallout Wasteland. I definitely think it's worth it as far as miniatures. We'll see about game. After I play it once, I'll make a video on my opinion of the game. Thank you guys.